Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm NBG and I have a great video for you guys today. I'm going to be showing you an enchanting slash tailoring shuffle that I've been doing in Dragonflight that is making me a pretty darn good sized amount of gold. I was briefly streaming it just to show it off a little bit to the few people who were there, and I wanted to now make a video about it, discuss it with everybody else. It's a fantastic method. Just to let you know, I have things already pre-set up to do it. When I did it earlier today, I was making about 100,000 gold an hour, and then when I did it last night, I was making well over that. It really depends on the market, and we'll talk about everything here in just a moment. Alright, I am on my Tailor and Enchanter. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. Last night I was able to make gold doing this with Tailoring and Enchanting, and I had no skill points in it. So if we look at Tailoring, I'm like 67 in there. That doesn't really matter. But like when I did this, I had no skill points spent. The one that matters is Enchanting. I had no skill points spent in here at all, and I was making triple my money, my gold. That's a little bit different now. The prices have been changing drastically. So I don't think it's really the case that you can make that much now. However, you can make well more than that if you're spec'd correctly and you take advantage of it. So for anybody who already knows what they're doing, essentially, this is just a shuffle. And in this shuffle, what we're going to do is we're essentially going to make these bands here. The Surveyor's Cloth bands. It takes 4 Wilder cloth and 4 of the spools of Wilder thread. You get the spools of Wilder thread by unraveling, right? You can unravel if you have tattered Wilder cloth. You can unravel it, and that'll get you, 1 per. So it's like you can essentially, it takes 5 to make it. 5 tattered Wilder cloth to make 1 of the threads. So if we take a look at the auction house, there's a couple things. So the tattered Wilder cloth, it's pretty easy to score some under 2. That's kind of what I did my math on, is like saying that you bought your tattered Wilder cloth for 2 and you made the thread yourself. However, that would be about 10 gold per thread, when in reality you could just buy the spool for 17. You're essentially saving, if you bought it at 17, that's the 7 times 4 that you need. That's 20. You're saving 28 gold per. Honestly, at the end of the day, given how long it takes to make the thread, depending on how much you can buy the spools for, you might be better off just buying the spools and saving that crafting time. That is up to you. It just depends on how much time you want to put into it. You'll probably make more gold per hour if you can craft more of the cuffs, right? So let's talk about it. I have already pre-set up, just random with what I had bought. I pre-set up everything currently. Now, I've been making that much gold buying these all the way up to about 40 gold per, the Wilder cloth. Last night I was able to buy them at less than 20 gold per, because these are fluctuating like crazy. Like, look at that. And the other thing is, people are trying to like set the price really low. So like if you're fast enough like this, like I probably won't get any, oops. But people are trying to screw up the market and price at a price fixing. It's what it is. So this is fluctuating like crazy, which is also another good thing. If you want to sit here and just mad click like this and try and purchase these at a cheap price, you absolutely could. Here we go. My bad. So here's the mats that I bought, and currently, when on the setup I currently did, I have enough to make 239. That's just how much I have enough for. That's why I have it here. But anyway, I bought 956 Wilder cloth at 35 each is what I spent on average. That equals out to 33,460 gold. And then the thread I self-crafted at 10 gold each. Took a long time. Honestly, depending on what the price is, like I said, of the thread on the auction house, you might be better off just spending the slight extra gold to not have to do the crafting. But for me, it was 9,560 gold I spent. I have spent 43,020 gold on my mats. But what we're going to do is we're going to roll these, we're going to craft them, and we're going to craft all of these, and we're essentially going to disenchant. But before we do that, let's quickly talk about the disenchanting tree. So this is what's important, your specialization. It essentially needs to be inside of the blue. So what you end up doing is you end up doing, your first 10 points into inside of the blue. This gives you a chance to find things to disenchant while you're playing the character. Not a big deal. What you're really looking forward to is getting into the Draconic Disenchantment. I've talked about this. This was the route I wanted to go at the start. I thought that this by far looked like the best option, and it's been really good. What you want to do is, as you put 1 point into here, you can now have a small chance to acquire additional Regents from Disenchanting. That's great. Each point you put in here is 1% chance to acquire additional resources. Each point. As you get up to here, you know, that's the Crystalline Shatter, doesn't really matter. Up here is the one that, you absolutely need this node. Once you hit this node, you're probably pretty good to make good profit. And this is just learn to better disenchant armor, gaining a small chance to acquire additional Vibrant Shards. That's where the majority of the money is coming from. That's what we're looking to hit on, and having a chance to get additional is insane. So each one of these points is absolutely nutty. I absolutely suggest going all the way down here. I'll probably make a video about some of the stuff I've done down here, but I'm telling you, this has been better. This has been better in the size of quantities that I've been doing. This has been by far the better method. So this is important. Again, each point in here is 1% chance to acquire additional. This right here is another 5, so there's 45% chance to acquire additional on top of gaining additional Vibrant Shards from disenchanting armor. You see where we're going here. We're going heavy onto getting more resources, right? That's what this is all about. It's very much worth pouring your gold, doing what you have to get this up, get all those skill points you need to get it to that point. I pushed it all the way up here because I'm doing other testing, but again, the 5% here, and you know, from here to here, that's giving you're basically over doubling your chance to get additional. It's important, so don't sleep on it, but you need to get to here. With that, here comes the easy part, just a little bit of time. I'm going to craft. I'm not going to be able to do all of these at one time, but I'm going to go ahead and fill my bag, and I'm going to craft here for a while. So once I fill my bag here, we will reconvene, and we will talk about it, and we will start the disenchanting so I can show a couple things to you. Now, keep in mind that any of this kind of stuff doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the quality, doesn't matter the crafting, the resource, the resourcefulness. I mean, none of this really matters. I think technically resourcefulness is okay, because you end up saving, you know, like here, I saved 1 welder cloth. So if you really wanted to double down on this, which this might not be good for that long, if you wanted to double down on this, resourcefulness is nice, because then you have a chance to save welder cloth. You know, and if you save 1 or 2 welder cloth, you know, when those are 35 gold a piece, you know, that it adds up, right? You know, here I saved 1 spool of threads. Woo, I saved, you know, like 15, 17 gold right there. Not a big deal. None of this really matters, and this is like the first pattern I think you get. So this is really, really, really easy to do. You just need to get disenchanting up. Anyway, I'm going to continue crafting, and we'll go about it after this is done. Alright, the first batch has been made. However, I didn't start a stopwatch or anything. I'm going to have to run by the numbers I got just earlier today. But I'm just going to show you the profits, essentially. So let's talk about it. So here we are. We have these. Let's do TSM Destroy. And let's go ahead and start breaking these down. So here's one broken down. That's 4 chromatic dust. You see that over here in the chat? I got 4 chromatic dust from that. Well, at 4 chromatic dust, you're looking at, like, right now, it's 48 gold per. Earlier they were like 55. It fluctuates. Honestly, it might be higher or lower than that. Let's look. It's 52 gold. So again, you know, let's just say 50 gold for easy numbers, right? We can just say that these are 50 gold. Well, guess what? You know, 50 times 4, that's 200. It didn't take me 200 gold to make these. You can kind of see where that's going. This should have been 180, I think. Is it 180? Let's see here. So there we are. That's 1. Yeah, somewhere around there. Should be around somewhere around 180. You can actually also look by, and this is talking about if you just bought the stuff straight from the auction house at its current prices, is what this is showing. This says 167, but most of my stuff I was kind of calculating for about 180. I actually have been able to get the welder cloth. It fluctuates so heavily that it's hard to nail it precisely. But for this example, let's take about 180. So anyway, right there, that's 4 chromatic dust, and let's keep it going because that's not a good roll. Here's the next one. That's 3, technically losing just slightly, but here you saw that last one. That was 1 vibrant shard and 3. 3 almost usually or basically covers the cost for the most part. It's a little bit less, but not by much typically. But the vibrant shard itself, right now they're 475 gold. So that disenchant basically made me 475 gold. Here's this one. That 3, all of this came from the same. This 3 covered the cost, extra gold. This one, 3, basically covered the cost. Next one is 2 shards. That's well above the cost. 2 shards is, even 1 shard is basically 3 times the amount approximately. You know, so 2 is about 5 to 6 times the amount that it costs to make it. 4, that's over the cost. There's 2. Well over the cost. You can see where this is going. 3 and 1, way over the cost. 1 shard, you know, that's almost 3 times the cost. 2 shards from that one. That's like 5 to 6 times the cost. 1 and 3. You know, I don't have to keep saying it, basically. As we go through this, you're making back way more. Was that 2 and 3? Yeah, that was 2 and 3. You know, that disenchant, that was 2 and 3. You know, what was that? That's about the cost. That's about 180 plus like another about 1,000, so 1,150 or so, just like quick math. Yeah, that disenchant was 1,150 gold when it only cost me 180 approximately. Technically less, but about 180 to make it. Right? That was one, you know, there's one that was 1 and 5 in there. It's really the vibrant shards. And these can proc multiple ways to where I've had it at most so far. I've gotten 3 vibrant shards in a single disenchant. And that's where the money is. Again, any time that you're at 3, you're pretty much pulling even. Anything over that is extra. And then, like, look, there was times 5. This one was times 6. That's way more than enough. 2 vibrant shards, way more. So what I'm gonna do, you can already see here how much extra gold this is gonna make. I'm gonna take the time to disenchant all these, make the rest of them, and then we're gonna go and post everything on the auction house and show you the total profits from this little adventure. Alright, we are done with the disenchanting. Took a little bit. I just put these here so you can see. Notice that I got 222 vibrant shards and 418 dust. Why this is significant is I got almost as many vibrant shards as I had crafts. What did I craft? What was it? 239? I did 239 and I got 222 vibrant, and what was it, 418 dust, we'll just say. Anyway, I'm gonna put these up and get you the prices. Alright, let's take a look at those fat numbers with the current prices. With the current prices, with what I spent, look at that, 110,000 gold from the vibrant dust, or from the vibrants, to another 24,000 from the dust. That gave us 134,800 gold in value, and minus what I put into it, 43,000. That's 91,780 gold I just made, and I believe it's only been about 30 minutes, to be honest. So I'm going to sell this short and say this is somewhere actually right now for me around 150,000 gold an hour, because I believe I might have started right before. And then not just that, I've been, you know, making the video and doing other things, so I'm not exactly trying to go quick. So somewhere around 30 minutes it took me to do that for 91,000 gold profit. So double that, essentially, maybe minus some, you know, 150,000 plus, 180,000 gold profit, you know, per hour. That's insane. I'm sharing this so other people can jump on it too. I've made a pretty good amount doing this. I try not to do it too much. You don't want to flood the auction house too much with these shards, just given like I just posted and then somebody put a whole bunch of shards right ahead of me, so they're probably not going to sell immediately. I might have to drop it down a couple gold, big deal. I have not had an issue selling everything with what I've done. Don't even worry about that. So, a couple things to take note of. The vibrant shards, you know, a lot of it goes by the price. Yeah, somebody posted a whole bunch at my price. So, you know, it doesn't take, I don't lose that much by canceling this out and reposting it, given how much profit I'm making. I'd rather just make sure I sell. I was selling a lot earlier at like 450. When I was doing it last night, they were selling at like 650 or something, and I was buying the other stuff cheaper. It was insane. But now I can do this exact, you know, I lost 300 gold by taking them off, but now mine's the cheapest. Boom, instantly. Because I just posted instantly, you're going to have some sell at least. Anyway, quickly, keep in mind, Wildercloth, how cheap can you get it? I like for like 35 or less. Obviously, you can sit here and do this refresh, and look, there's a whole bunch posted at 21. Boom, I just bought some for 21. If you want to play that game, where you try to snipe these like that and just, it's aggravating. It's really hard to get everything you need doing this, but you can make even more gold, technically, off of trying to snipe these at a good price. When I did it earlier at about 100,000 gold, or like 86,000 is what it ended up being, I was buying, I didn't care. If it was up to 40, didn't matter. And that was with Vibrant Shards selling at like 470 or something like that. Right now, Vibrant Shards are closer to 500. And Chrome Dust earlier today was selling at like 52, and it's actually rising right now. So, long story short, if you play this correctly, you can make a lot of gold. Like buying a whole bunch of this, less than a gold, like I'll take that. That's worth me taking the time to. And this happened to me yesterday too, where Tattered I was getting at like less than 70 silver. Like, I know it's not saving a whole bunch of gold, but it's still saving gold. I like to save money, right? And then, depending on how many shards, excuse me, not shards, depending on how much Wildercloth I can get at like a really good price. I'm too late on that. Oh no, I'm not. Wow, I just bought those at like 25 per. Sick. Depending on how you do on the Wildercloth, you might be better off given how much profit is there. I mean, look at that. I just made 91,000 profit in 30 minutes or so, right? You know, we're looking at least 150,000 gold profit total per, like, in an hour, per hour. I can honestly say screw, because you're going to lose time crafting the Tattered, and just say screw it and buy, you know, buy a bunch of the spools, you know, at slightly higher price, because at the end of the day, you're making a lot of gold. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Abuse it. I'm hoping that by the time I get on tomorrow, I can't do this anymore, because people have taken my video and it blows up and you guys all jump on it and make a quick buck. I would get on it. I would get on it now. It's insane. Do this for 2 hours and you have a token. Alright. If you like this content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you'd like to see. Let me know what I can do better. And I'll see you guys in the next video.